The Jim and Terry Show coming to you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, we wish.
Yeah, right.
From Bob Cage, and I'm Terry.
I'm Jim.
And bright-eyed and bushy-tailed is not the way either one of us is feeling this morning. Sleepless in Seattle, or tougher law, and whatever other factors are causing us to be a little fatigued.
I had a great sleep a couple days ago, and last night sucked. And I went to bed late because the Leaf game didn't end till almost 12.
Did they win?
Yes, they did, but they were killing them, just killing Anaheim. The Anaheim goalie stopped like 52, 53 shots, not counting the two that went in. Only two went in. And that was Matthews had like 15 shots on net. Couldn't get it past the guy.
Did he get one of the two goals?
At the end, he got the last one in overtime.
So how many shots did you say Matthews got? 15
well,
and
at least,
one went in?
The game wasn't over and he had 11 shots. And you're talking, how he gets on his knees and really jams it.
Sounds like we're in the old Maple Leaf Gardens in the Potbelly Lounge Room or whatever they call that fireside chat thing. Yeah.
So I didn't think they were actually going to win. I was almost rooting for the goalie of Anaheim.
Well, yeah, because that's a phenomenal achievement.
And stopping good scorers, man,
Did who's the winger?
What?
Marner get one?
No, I don't think so. I think it was Nylander.
Oh, okay. Nylander's got...
I might be wrong. Bob's flipping over now when he
Okay, Bob, don't flip over. Just right in the comment.
But Matthews got one, which would be his 30th so far this year.
He's good. That's great.
Yeah.
On his way. Good leadership.
So anyways, that's not what we were going to talk about, but I'm tired because of that.
You're tired because of that. And I'm tired because our internet was flaky and we had to get a Rogers tech to come in. And
I know he messed up my parking and everything. I mean,
yeah, he parked in front.
I almost went home. I said,
you should have. I usually remember when the first days of the Jim and Terry Show, I actually had a parking sign for you.
Yes. But then I, like a little puppy, I learn.
Yes, I could remove the sign, and he still goes there.
Like the elephant that's tied.
Yes, the Rogers Tech guy parked in front of the door. My wife needed to open the garage door and couldn't, so we had to ask him to move the vehicle. Anyway, those are stress. You had nothing on the griddle, no coffee in your cup, and you were looking at an empty plate.
An empty plate, empty cup. I went, okay.
Yes, it's the new look Jim and Terry Show. The budget cuts have hit.
Now
Inflation has taken its toll. We no longer can feed you.
Is there something you want to tell me, Terry?
Yeah, I can tell you that we need to move on to our topic for this discussion. The Potbelly stove was nice. The Mitch Marners, the
Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews, thank you.
Jones was in net.
And who's the name of the Anaheim goalie? Well,
I don't know, but
cheers to all these athletes of superior capabilities than you and I. But
yes.
I was going to show you the photograph that my daughter-in-law put together, a montage of all that when she dug through before
you gotta
Christmas.
show me
Yeah,
that.
it's back upstairs. But one of the shots is of a hockey game that we had in the days of seminary. We put a little hockey team together, a little shinny game. We called it Moses and the Pharaohs. So here's a shout to Randy Mace, if you're listening, and Norm Ecclestone, if you're listening. Jeez. As well as, let's see, I remember the first name of some of the other guys. Wayne played winger, and Gary Waite, who's a professor, retired, of history, Reformation history in New Brunswick. Players. We were all sitting there we took a group shot. We have it, so that's part of what she threw there.
Oh, nice.
Isn't it? Playing in an old tennis court.
Nice.
Yeah, because you got the big fences all the way around.
You can't lose the ball.
Can't lose the ball. That's the most important thing when you got a game of shinny. I'm tired of
you can't take out a window.
Yes, no windows, nothing gets broken, just people.
No car.
No, oh, yeah, gone are those days. Anyway, we wanted to talk about the question, and maybe I like this because questions and pursuing answers is really what life is all about. So what's the question?
Well, the question is anybody in Gaza really innocent of what has taken place?
Right. So let's frame it this way. The destruction is phenomenal, astronomical.
Yeah, unbelievable.
It's like, it's worse than not worse than, I still say Ukraine gets lost in the shuffle. Ukraine is still suffering these major demolitions. Yeah. So I do not want to compare. But I do want to say the destruction in Gaza is horrendous to my sensibilities. As a human being, I do not like to see anyone suffer.
Yeah.
But this question is one of culpability, which is assigning blame and consequences.
Yeah, I remember way back when this first happened, before the attack of Israel, the defense of Israel, I guess, if you want to put it, against Hamas, before they went into Gaza. One of the officials said, look, the Palestinians here are not, living in a vacuum. They know what's underneath their buildings. They know what's underneath their hospitals. They know how Hamas feels. They know what they're teaching their children. And you and I have seen videos of what they're teaching their children, that Israelis are just dogs. And they're
The hatred.
and the hate is unbelievable, off the charts. And I saw that video this morning where the guy was saying, I've seen the video. And he says the Nazis at least drank themselves into oblivion at night for the atrocities they were committing. They were very sad.
They didn't celebrate.
They didn't celebrate. He says, I saw the Hamas fighters.
First person cameras.
He said his word was glee. They were in glee of raping and brutalizing. And he said they took that one woman that they raped multiple times and then dragged her naked back into Gaza. And the Gazan people...
in the back of the truck.
Yeah, and the Gazan people then spit on her, bashed her, demeaned, and celebrated the death of this poor young lady. I mean, that's just
basically
atrocity.
violating a corpse.
Well, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But it lets you know the mindset. You would only do that to something I wouldn't even do it to an ant. So I don't know how you could do it to another human, even if you don't think they're human. I don't know how you could do that to a conscious being.
You do not think of them as human beings. That's how the Nazis got away with it. It's the dehumanization.
Yeah.
They are not human. That's the language of Hitler in Mein Kampf. They are vermin. That's just to drag a strand from the present. Trump uses the same word, language, vermin.
Yeah.
So be aware that this stuff is going around, and this is the stuff that is not good.
That's right. And so the people of Gaza who live there, who house Hamas, who know they're there, who elected Hamas to be their leaders, how can they be totally innocent of this hell that's going on in their country? And Hamas launching such a brutal attack, fully expected exactly what they're getting. They wanted to draw Israel into a war, and I believe, hoping that they will draw Lebanon, Iran, and some of the other hostile nations towards Israel into the war.
One of the things that
by the way, Americans, they want you dead too, and I'm assuming Canadians.
One of the things that bothers me most about Gaza is the claim of children, that half of the dead are children. And so this little breaking news caught me, not to justify, but it helps me to say something about it objectively. Kids coming up to an Israeli IDF tank in Gaza. Kids, coming up, throwing stones at the tank. And the guys just fire a pistol up into the air. The kids disperse. Around the corner is Hamas with an RPG. Kids being used to locate tanks and report the location.
That's Hamas. That's dirt.
Hamas. But now the question is, should the soldier have shot the children who are spotters for the RPG?
And
if they do, they're guilty of a war crime.
Yeah, that's what Hamas is using.
Yes.
Let's face it, and I'm sorry anybody who would be supportive of such an evil organization. They are evil to the very core. Evil. I don't care how they got to be evil. I don't care what drove them to be evil. They are evil. They are demonic almost in their evil approach to life. They celebrate the absolute brutality of another human being. They celebrate that. And so I'm sorry, they're evil. And if I was an Israeli, knowing that every one of them are teaching all of their children that if you find me, kill me, which brings me also to the Quran, if you want to know the truth, where it says right in the Quran, there'll come a time when the trees will cry out, there's a Jew behind me, or a rock will cry out, there's a Jew behind me, go kill him. Well, it's a very hateful thing, isn't it? So I'm sorry, peace is a far, far cry off. Oh boy, did I rant? I just ranted.
No, you didn't rant. You didn't rant. You're drawing on a number of strands, so the question I think we posed last week was the question of, is there such a thing as a moderate Muslim? And we like to dress up the teaching, and I might say the same question of any faith. Can there be radicals in any faith?
I think so.
Okay.
And as far as the Muslims, it might be the same as in Christianity. Right. There are those who say they're Christian because their mom and dad or grandparents were Christian. Right. I'm not Muslim, so I'm Christian.
Right.
But they're not Christian. I mean, they haven't given their heart to Christ.
They're not a devoted follower.
They're not a follower. That's just the way it is, and there's probably the same in the Islamic world.
Would you call a devoted Christian a radical Christian?
No, I think.
Okay, so just hold that answer.
All right.
No. Would you call a devoted Muslim who follows the teachings of the Quran a radical Muslim?
I never even thought about that. I would, off the cuff, no. I'd say no.
I would say yes.
Yeah, but
there's
when
the
you
difference
think, but
for me.
no, but now you made me think about it. That's my point. Now that you've made me think about it, if they're devoted, then they believe the writings and they believe what they are, and no Jew is a good Jew, and they all need to go. They all need to die and never be on the earth again. So I couldn't support.
And the
that
goal
kind
of Islam is to take over and have everybody, you either convert or you die.
Yeah, pretty well.
You convert, you become slaves, or you die. I think those are three choices you get when you're confronted by someone telling you, I'm Muslim, I'm going to take over your country, your neighborhood, your school, your city, whatever, and you have these choices. You either convert to Islam or you become our slaves and you pay some kind of a taxation in servitude to the governing Muslim Sharia law-based civilization, or you die.
And the world doesn't advance.
No, so how is that moderate? But if you are a devout Muslim, do you not advocate those very things?
I guess you have to.
But if you're a devout Christian, you would not.
No, a devout Christian follows the way of Jesus, which is...
So you're not radical if you are a devout Christian.
Yeah.
But you are if you're a devout
I think you're
Muslim.
radical if you some of the extremes we see in the United States right now, probably in Canada too. I think that's radicalism because you're forgetting the teachings and the walkings of Christ.
You're no longer... You are political. You are not religious.
Yeah, you're not religious. And following Jesus, you couldn't hurt a fly. You just couldn't. Even those he didn't like, he verbally told them so.
If you got a difference of opinion...
And remember, he's God.
That's your claim.
That's my claim. That's my claim. Yeah.
All right, stick to the facts. We get to the dragnet. Nothing but the facts, ma'am. All right, next episode coming up. The Jim and Terry Show. Stay tuned.